Hello, welcome to the Spanish Football Podcast YouTube channel. I'm Alex Kirkland, this is Sid Lowe.
It is.
We're in a car park and it's just started to rain, so
Yeah.
we're going to keep this relatively brief. We are looking ahead to Matchday 14, Sid.
14?
in La
Where did
Liga.
it go?
I know, it's just gone so fast. Time flies when you're having fun. And we're going to be having fun on Friday night when Levante play Mallorca. How do we feel right now, Sid, about Paco Lopez's Levante?
I don't know how we feel about them. You know why? Because you never know how you feel about Paco Lopez Levante. That's
Easy for you to say.
It's a tongue twister, isn't it? Because they are capable of doing really brilliant things and really bad things in back-to-back weeks.
Without looking, where are they in the table?
14th, I guess.
I always assume that Levante
They
are
are
about
14th.
14th. They're in fact 12th.
Oh,
so
there
they're
you go.
slightly better than
Right.
we thought. Then Saturday, what an amazing day Saturday is going to be. It's partidazo after partidazo.
It is, isn't it?
Starting off at Butaki at 1 o'clock as bottom side Leganés play Barça. You're going to be there.
I'm going to be there. So is Javier Aguirre.
Yeah, who is he going to lead Lega to glory?
He did a brilliant interview today. He's basically, this is the reality of it. So what does this game say to you was the question. He said, top against bottom. What are we going to do?
He's a great character. Is he the man to keep Lega up?
He's certainly the man to create a reaction.
It might get a result. You never know, Butaki.
I am genuinely not ruling out Leganés doing something in this game.
Followed by at 4 o'clock, Betis against Valencia. Is Ruby drinking in the last chance saloon, Sid?
I would like someone one day to open a pub and call it the Last Chance Saloon.
Well, if they
there
do,
must be one somewhere. There's got to be,
is Ruby in it?
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
he is. I mean, they've actually been talking, or so the media says. We haven't been able to stand this up, I must confess. They've been talking to Setien about coming back.
Setien's been sat there playing chess somewhere. Does he fancy a return to
I mean, it would be a little bit crazy, wouldn't it? But anyway, this
Crazier
game,
things have happened at Betis, to be fair.
Yes.
Sorry, this game. Yes.
This game's a big one. This game is a big one. It's an exciting one. It's two teams that are, for the most part, reasonably good to watch. I think, I'm looking forward to this.
After that, at 6:30, Granada against Atleti. Might not be quite as good to watch, but still a really big game. Granada's incredible early start to the season has maybe dropped off slightly.
Yeah, I was there last week, and of course, one of the things about that brilliant start to the season, and when they went top, and everyone said, wow, this is amazing, but you won't stay there. So, yeah, we know we won't stay there. That's the whole point. The whole point is we can now have 3 games in a row losing, and those points are still there.
Points are in the bag.
Halfway to survival already. And I still think even in these 3 defeats in a row, they haven't at any point lost sight of what it is they do, lost sight of how they play. And I think at Los Cármenes, they'll make life difficult for us.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be at all surprised if it's
Nor
a
would
draw or even if Granada win this
Nor
game.
would I. Absolutely agree.
Okay, the late game on Saturday. Maybe the game of the weekend, Real Madrid against Real Sociedad at the Bernabeu. We're both going to be there. And this should be great fun.
It's also a nice lesson for people who want to know what Real is Real. One of these is El Real, the other is La Real. There you go.
I'm glad you clarified. Is that the best analysis we've got
Sorry
on this
about
game?
that.
The game should be good. Martin Odegaard, who's been injured for La Real, should be back to play against his parent.
And they're a lovely team to watch, Real Sociedad. It is true that they've had 2 or 3 games, and particularly against the bigger teams where they haven't performed as well as you would expect them to do, given how well they've played every other game. But I think in terms of a team to watch, they might well be the best team in Spain this season.
And they've got Nacho Monreal.
It's
not always watch La Real, it's always watch Monreal. That's my version of the hashtag.
Always watch Monreal.
Saturday's going to be great then. Sunday, maybe not quite so much. Sorry to fans of all the teams playing on Sunday. I've just written you off completely.
There's an Alan Partridge joke in here somewhere, isn't there?
Sunday, bloody Sunday. Starting off at midday, Espanyol against Getafe. Maybe not the game. We say this about, I'm sorry about Espanyol fans. Every in the weekend preview every week, we basically write off the Espanyol game, and that feels unfair.
But it's big for Espanyol, and they're under a lot
Pablo
of pressure.
Martinez, to be fair, has had an impact already.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's all. So, Osasuna against Athletic, that should be feisty. Feisty is the adjective I'm choosing to describe that game.
Osasuna have broken their record, of course, although there's a slight asterisk by it of 32 games in a row without losing at home. The last time, the previous record was 31, and the reason I say asterisk is because they actually only played 31 of the 32 this time. So if they are properly to break that record, they have to beat Athletic Bilbao. Guess who beat them last time that record came to an end?
Who?
Athletic Bilbao.
I could have guessed that.
And 8-1.
After that, 4 o'clock. Eibar against Alavés. That's
a good tasty Basque game as well.
That game is rates high on the Basque scale.
That is so high on the Basque scale that they are eating a chuleton, they are drinking Pacharan or Chacoli, they've got a beret on.
And they're probably they're doing some competitive wood chopping or something. 6:30, it's Villarreal against Celta.
Well, any game that involves watching Santi Cazorla is all right by me.
Best player in Spain.
Best player in Spain.
Best player for Spain, best player in Spain, best player.
Best player.
And finally, to end the weekend at 9 o'clock, it's Real Valladolid against Sevilla. Jude Lopetegui's Sevilla, been impressing a lot of people so far this season.
And I think as well because they got that win before the end of the international break in the derby, because that sense that this is a big game, because although they've been impressive so far this season, of course they didn't beat Atletico Madrid, they got beaten 4-0 by Barcelona, despite actually being the best team for the first 45 minutes, maybe half an hour, and they didn't beat Real Madrid, they lost 1-0 at home. There was that sense that there was a big result missing. Beating Betis, I know Betis aren't as big or as good as those teams, but in terms of the size of the game, that is a big game, has really reinforced that this is a project where there's a lot of optimism. And if there was a striker that was on form at the moment, you think this is a really good team. You know what Monchi said this week?
Although De Jong scored the other day,
That's
game.
true.
Don't forget.
And a very good goal.
Sorry, what did Monchi say?
Did you hear what Monchi said?
No.
He said, it is not a utopia. That's a very Spanish way of saying it, but it is not a utopia to think we could win the league.
I mean, they're in the top 5, and there are 2 points separating the top 5 at the moment.
I'd like to point out at this stage, though,
Having
Monchi, I'm sorry. It probably is utopia. I'd really love it not to be, but it probably is. But Sevilla are well worth watching, and they're a genuinely good side. And the work that Lopetegui's done so far, I think, has been pretty impressive. With a brand new team, by the way. I mean, it's a dozen players in, a dozen players out, and yet it's working.
It's going to be a great weekend. You can hear it broken down, unpacked.
Unpack.
To use a Sid Loweism.
Yeah, I do that, don't I?
Tick the box on the Sid Lowe bingo. You're unpacking constantly. You unpack more than a furniture removal man or something like that.
That was very good, Al. You know who I unpack more than?
Go on.
Those bastards at security at the airport, where they go through your suitcase, they unpack it, they go, right, you can go now. What do you mean I can go now? You've unpacked my bag. Pack it back. I didn't do it. You did it.
I'm almost certainly cutting this bit out.
No, don't cut this out. This bit's great.
Hear all about it on Monday with Phil and the Sid, the Spanish Football Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Acast, and as always, bonus content including my paper reviews. Patreon.com.
Near daily and world famous.
Pretty much every day these days. Patreon.com/TSFP.